Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cross using the modern label punch. This card is so easy to make. It would be perfect for Easter or any other Christian occasion. So let me show you how to make it. So to start off with, you're going to need a piece of cardstock. I have Whisper White here, and I've cut this piece to 3 inches by 4.5 inches. And I'm going to put this on the corner of my grid paper here. If you don't have grid paper, just use a ruler. And I'm going to take another ruler, and I'm going to make a mark 1.5 inches over on the short side, which is the center point of the short side of this card here. And I'm going to draw a line all the way up from the bottom to the top. And then I'm going to make myself 2 little marks. I'm going to make myself a mark 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. And then I'm also going to make a mark 1/2 inch from the top. And to make sure that I remember where the top is, I'm also going to draw a little arrow pointing up so I know that that's going to be my top. Okay, so next we're going to need the modern label punch. And we're going to open this up. And remember my arrow from the top, we are going to be punching the first punch from the top. So there's my top. I'm going to slide this into my punch, and I'm going to center this. This piece of cardstock is almost the same width as my punch, so just make sure it's centered and that it's all the way in, okay? And once you've got it all the way in and it's centered, you're going to go ahead and punch it. That's our first one going across. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to line up the punch. There's our mark for the top. We're going to make sure that that mark is right over on the edge of this punch. So I'm going to bring this up into the camera so you can see it. There's my little mark right at the top. I'm going to make sure this pencil line is going right through the middle of my punch, and that way it will be centered. And once I like the look of that, I'll go ahead and punch that. And then we're going to line this punch up with the mark that I made at the bottom of my cardstock. So let me find that. And then I'm just going to make sure again it is centered. And I can see there's just the tiniest bit of white cardstock peeking out right here at the top. Just make sure that is as good as centered as you can get. And then once you've got that all lined up, you're just going to go ahead and punch that. Okay, and notice right here, I'm just going to show you something. Let me put the punch aside. Okay, there is a little piece right here that indents a little bit where the first punch came down. I actually don't really mind that at all. That is just a little bit of a curvature on the cross. If that bothers you at all, you can just come in with your scissors. I'll show it without really doing it, but you can come in with your scissors and you can go ahead and just trim right along there and just nip off that little bit of an indent if that bothers you. But I actually kind of like it. It gives a little bit more of some curves to the little cross. Okay, so now we don't have to erase the pencil lines because that will be the back side of the cardstock. So we can turn this over and you can see your perfect little cross here. And then I've got some words that I'm going to use. This is, I'm going to use Celebrate from the And Many More set. And we're going to stamp this down here at the bottom corner. And I am using Crumb Cake ink here. And let me just ink this up. I'm just tapping on my ink pad. These firm foam pads have a little bit of a give to them. They're not the same as the linen pads we used to have. So you just want kind of like a light little tap. And then I'm going to stamp this right down here at the bottom like that. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to need a piece of Designer Series paper. This is the Something Borrow Designer Series paper, and I've cut this piece to 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And the nice thing about this paper is that it's going to do all the work of the card, because really I have just cut a hole for the cross and we're going to put this behind here. So whatever Designer Series paper you use is going to do all the work for you for this card. So then we're also going to need a note card for this one, and I'm using the Crumb Cake note cards and envelopes. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, these are great because they come pre-cut and pre-scored, and then you have like an envelope that's ready to go for them. But if you don't happen to have these note cards, you can also make yourself one. If you cut a piece of cardstock to 7 inches by 5 inches, and then you will score in half at the 3 1/2 inch mark. And this one's already pre-scored, so I'm going to go ahead and just fold it, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to just make sure this score line is really creased, and then we can bring this around to the front. And I'm going to take some Tombow glue here, and I'm going to glue my Designer Series paper right in the center here. So let me get this glue going. Okay, that bottle is nearly bit the dust. Bottle number 2. Let's go with this one. Okay, I'm going to put Tombow on the back of this Designer Series paper piece, and just make sure it is centered right on your card, and then it will be perfect for your cross. Okay, and then what we need is some dimensionals, because what I really like if you use dimensionals is that your cross is going to come off the card a little bit. It's going to allow some of the light to come through through the spot where the dimensionals lift up. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe put about 6 dimensionals on there, 1 on each of the corners. And then maybe 1 right here under the cross, just to give a little support. And I just have to remove the backing now. Oh, the backing wants to stay with me. And 1 more. And then again, we just turn this over, and we'll just center this right on the card like that. And there you go, a really beautiful card for Easter, and it really didn't take me any time at all to make. All the supplies that you'll need to make this cross card are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now.